of Education through University Grants Commission and jointly organized by the Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University through its Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center and one of our top leading institution, that is Takshashila Institute of Engineering and Technology, Darapur. I welcome you all. Friends, since last week we are discussing with the different modalities and the implementation strategies of this national education policy, and about 3 days, ongoing 3 days, we will also discuss some of the different issues and the aspects of this national education policy with the help of eminent experts, scholarly experts. So today we will start with our session. In the today's session, there will be Professor Mohammad Atiq sir, a scholarly personality, the director of this Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center and the senior professor and the head Department of Computer Science and the Engineering, Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. Friends, I think no one is here that those who are not knows Professor Atiq sir is very well, because he is a very famous name and a very famous personality in the domain of this engineering and technology field. But it is my humble duty to briefly introduce Professor Atiq sir. Sir has more than 4 decades of experience. He is engaging more than 4 decades in this field of higher education in the different capacities and the different organizations. He has started his journey as a lecturer in the government polytechnic, and right now he is in the Amravati, in the Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, serving as a senior professor and the head of the department of this computer science. Sir is also holding the charge of this Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center as the director, and under his able guidance we are continuously develop and conducting such kind of courses for across the India, and various faculty members and other stakeholders, key functionaries that has been working in the higher education system. This is the brief introduction with regards to Atiq sir. There are a number of things that has been associated with the sir, like as the administration, like as the academics, but I am not going very deeper under that. In today's session, sir will discuss on the very much important aspects of this national education policy, that is the technological integration, assessment, evaluation, and one of the most foremost pillar or the parameter of this national education policy, that is the Bloom's taxonomy. So I will again extend my warm welcome to you, sir, and now may I request you to please start with your session, sir, please.
Thank you very much, Ankit, for a wonderful introduction. I hope I am loud and clear and you can hear me. Hello. 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 I am loud and clear, I hope. Right.
Sir, little bit low, sir, little bit low.
Hello. Now whether it is okay?
Yeah, sir. Right now it is okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it is okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ankit, and you just allow me to share my PPT. Any one of you have to just confirm whether the slides are visible.
Yes, sir. You can share, please, sir.
The slides are. I hope the slides are visible to you. Right. I hope my slides are visible to you. Hello.
Yes, sir. Visible. Yes, very much visible.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay. As Ankit has rightly pointed out, that is, today we'll be having a look at the curriculum and pedagogy in higher education, particularly Bloom's taxonomy as a pedagogical tool for teaching, learning, and assessments. Right. So, friend, as you are all aware that we are going ahead with a revolutionary policy, what they call it as the National Education Policy 2020. And since last 5 days, okay, so you must have seen various aspects of it, right? In today's discussion, what we will do, we will have some theoretical stuff initially, and then I will take you to certain tools, okay, wherein we will just try to explore what are the various possibilities, that is, in what way as a teacher we need to change ourselves, right? So this is what is there on the agenda as far as today's deliberation is concerned, and I will be with you for around 3 hours or so, right? Because both the sessions I'll be engaging. Okay, so we'll start with the very first session. As I said, these are the learning objectives which I have jotted down as far as the first session is concerned, right? Wherein we will just try to see various terms in the psychologies of learning and instruction. That is, we will start from scratch. Okay, presuming because see, I myself is a man from engineering and technology, right? So I started my career way back in 1990 from the college itself where I did my graduation. That is Government College of Engineering, Amravati, right? So what has happened, that is during the maybe the past 35 years, whatever little experience I have acquired, that I will share with you. Okay, but one thing I have experienced, those who are from engineering and technology background, they do not have any idea about that is what is teaching, learning, and so on, right? And what is the role of, you can say, the Bloom's taxonomy in teaching, learning, and evaluation, right? So initially, we will invest some quality time in understanding uh, what are the various terms, rather the psychologies of learning and instruction. Okay, then we will move ahead with the teaching learning process in general. What is teaching, what is learning, and how they are interrelated, rather interdependent, and what are the factors which influence learning, what are the modes of learning, and transfer of learning and laws of learning. We will not go in very detail about all these aspects. And then the rest of the session, wherein we will just try to explore what is assessment. Okay, that is here we will just try to examine Bloom's taxonomy as a assessment tool. Okay, and we will just try to because all of you are from technology background, so most of you must be using some or the other tool for the evaluation or assessment purpose, right? So what are the various tools available in that domain, that we will explore. And then we will see one important model, what they call it as the Swimmer model, which is typically used for identifying whether a particular tool is a standard or not, right? So there is a criteria. That criteria, let's say, if a particular tool satisfies, then you can very well conclude that that tool is a standard tool, right? And in between, because maybe around 4:30 or so, we will have some tea, that is technology enabled assessment tool, and then we will examine some of the tools. Okay, some of the tools I have listed out here, but that is just for the sake of example. But we will explore many. Okay, we will explore many, right? Maybe some tools for teaching, learning, maybe some tools for assessment, maybe some tools for research purposes as well. So this is what is there on the agenda as far as today's session is concerned. So before I start my deliberation, okay, I don't know how many of you are in a position to interact, but if it is so, then I'll be really happy to interact with all of you, because this, as a matter of fact, the implementation or this the objective of this particular program, that is NEP orientation and sensitization, is that is as a matter of fact, we should talk for maybe around 40 to 45 minutes, and maybe 40 to 45 minutes brainstorming has to be there, ideally, I'm saying. But leave it. But at least in between, let's say, if you can interact on some of the aspect wherein you can come up with your own opinion, okay, I'll be happy to listen, right? So as I said, that is, we will start with certain psychological learning terminologies, wherein we will explore what is pedagogy, andragogy, teaching, training, and learning, right? Now, having said this, I would love to hear from you, what is your understanding of pedagogy? Right. So any one of you. Now, again, I have a multilingual support. Okay, you can speak in maybe in English or Hindi or Marathi. Right. So I'm very much comfortable with all these three languages. Right. So what do you feel? What is pedagogy is all about? Any one of you, if you can come up with your answer, so that will be a sort of ice breaking sort of thing, and then we will move ahead with the other aspects. So,
yeah, good afternoon,
yes,
sir.
yes.
Actually, pedagogy, the term which we can use,
Yes.
particularly for the method of how teacher teach in theory and in practice.
Great, great,
Yes.
great. So, sir, Roshan Prakash, sir, if I am not wrong, right? That is your
Yes, sir.
display name. Yeah. So, as Professor has rightly pointed out, it is nothing but the method and practice, right?
Yes.
Okay, so but there are some dimension to it. We'll just try to examine it because since most of the people, as I said, that with due respect, I am telling you, that
Yes.
is those who are from engineering technology background, we are little bit ignorant about all these aspects, right? But we are doing it. We are doing it very effectively. But many times we do not know exactly what it is, right? So that's why, as I said, that is it is the method and practice of teaching, especially as an academic subject or theoretical concept. That is
Yes.
whatever approach you adopt. Yes, sir. You want to speak something, sir?
No,
Okay,
nothing, sir. Please.
okay, all right. So it is the discipline that deals with the theory and practice, as Professor has rightly pointed out. And what is the objective? Objective is how best to teach. Okay. So all of us, we plan, okay, whenever now, this is pedagogy is basically related with whatever you do in the classroom kind of instruction. Okay. And that's why it is also known as the theory of education, right? So it is, as a matter of fact, whenever you are dealing with any theoretical concept, okay, naturally we deal all those concepts in the classroom kind of an environment. Okay. Mere ma'am, Kanchan Mere ma'am, if you want to speak, Mere madam, do you want to speak? Hello. All right. One humble request to all the participants who are there in the meeting, that is, please do not discuss amongst yourself, right? Even if I know that maybe some cross assignments are there, you may be busy in some other sort of things and so on, right? But still, do not create any kind of problem as far as the session is going on, right? Okay, so if you really want to speak, there is no problem. You can unmute yourself and you can come up with your concern. Okay, I'll definitely address your concern. But let's say if you do not want, but do not discuss amongst yourself or do not involve in any kind of internal discussion or something like that. So as I said, it is the uh, method. Okay, it is the method or the approach you adopt. So whatever approach you adopt in a classroom kind of an environment, it is nothing but the pedagogy, right? So having said this, how do we prepare? Let's say, as I said, that is whenever you are dealing with uh, any theoretical concept which you want to deliver in the session. Okay, so what are the various steps? How do you prepare yourself for a theory session? Let's say if I ask you to engage a session from 10:30 to 11:30 of some XYZ subject, in what way you will start your preparation? Are there any specific steps? If yes, what are they? Okay. Now, this is the second question wherein I would like to, rather, I would love to have your reactions on that, right? So, whether there is any methodical step, if yes, what is it, and what are all those steps? Any one of you? Anybody from EdTech background or educational technology background? Okay, they may be a little bit more conversant with all those, all these types of, you can say, these stuff. Okay, but repeatedly I'm telling you, but particularly teaching persons from engineering and technology, I'm not saying that they are competent, they do it, right? But many times we do not know what exactly we are doing, right? So as a matter of fact, there is a 5-step procedure. Okay, and what are the steps involved? Let us have a look at all those steps. Okay, so the very first step, okay, it is suggested by Herbert. Okay, and these 5 steps include basically preparation, presentation, then association, generalization, and application. Right. Say, let's say if you want to deliver maybe on operating system tomorrow 10:30 to 11:30, what do? Normally, you go for collecting the stuff in that regard. Okay, you will prepare something, some notes, maybe handouts, or maybe PowerPoint presentation. And then what do? You go for presentation. Now, while delivering in the class or while presenting the stuff in the classroom kind of an environment, it is expected that you should try to associate the concept with the real life scenarios. So association is important. Then generalization, how we can make the concepts more generalized so that the student can digest it easily, and what are the application areas of that subject, right? How it is really applied in a real life scenarios and so on. So being a teacher, most of us, okay, you just allow me to make some bold statement in between, okay. So most of us, we are very good at preparation and presentation, but when it comes to association, generalization, and application, most of us we struggle, right? I'll give you one example which will clear your ideas why I'm saying so. Okay, the ideas, let's say those who are from computer science, they must have undergone maybe mathematics subjects from M1 to M5, if I am not wrong. Okay, because more or less the syllabus are, maybe the contents are changing, but the course title are remaining intact. Okay, so if you look at the title itself, maybe applied mathematics 1, applied mathematics 2, applied mathematics 3, and so on, right? So what is expected here is that is mathematics is undoubtedly there, right? But how that mathematics is applied in computer science? Okay, let's say for example, you are teaching or somebody is teaching Fourier transform or Z transform or maybe any other mathematical concept for that purpose. So how that concept is, as a matter of fact, is applicable in that domain. Okay, that is where most of us we struggle, because we have very hard compartment when it comes to teaching. Say mathematics subjects, basically they are taught by mathematician. So I'm not saying that they are not competent. They are really good in their subject, but they are little bit ignorant about how they are applied in the respective discipline. Okay, so and that is why applied mathematics, the course content are different for computer science and for electronics and maybe for mechanical and so on, right? So we need to understand this. That is, even if let's say for that purpose, this is for the same example I have given you. But let's say if you are teaching operating system, so how OS concepts are uh, really used in computer science. Okay, so you need to associate, because that makes the things little bit easier to understand, right? So that's why I'm saying that is we are very good at when it comes to preparation and presentation, but we are most of the time ignorant about that is how it is to be associated, generalized, and applied in a real life scenario, right? Now, having said this, there is another term which I have paused, that is what they call it as the andragogy. So what is andragogy? Now I would love to hear your responses in this regard. So pedagogy is all of us we are well acquainted with, but what is andragogy, right? What is andragogy? Any one of you? Please don't Google it. Okay. But have you heard this term? Pedagogy is almost all of us, we are very much familiar with.
Yes, sir. I think it is used for teaching adult learners, most
Great,
probably.
sir. Great, sir. So probably Roshan Prakash sir seems to be a senior person, right? Sir, your background, please.
Sir, I am head of the department English at Dr. Bhavasava Ambedkar Mahavidyalaya, Amravati.
Great, great, great.
Actually, I'm known as Rao, Professor Rao, but my
Acha, now so.
and I know
Okay, sir.
you. I know you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know you. Yes, sir. And we met
Yes, sir.
someday.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes. When I had been to your institute for some LEC purpose and so on. I
Yes,
am
sir.
not.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. As Professor has rightly pointed out, that it is the method and practice of teaching adult learners. Now, if you look at this from that perspective, and if you look at the kind of input you get in your classroom, particularly engineering colleges, they are all 10+2, and then they join your institution, right? So they are all adult, right? Now, if you adopt some pedagogy, okay, which is typically applicable for maybe junior college and other maybe school going kids, okay, that will not work here, right? Because you are dealing with adult. Now, what is so special about adult, and in what way we need to, you can say, treat them? It is the science of understanding theory and supporting practice. So, as a matter of fact, andragogy talks about the theoretical concept and the practical aspects, right? So it is not merely dealing with the theory, and it is dealing with theory as well as the practical, right? Because in science and technology or engineering, okay, they go hand in hand, right? So it is as a matter of fact, it is based on a humanistic conception of self-directed and autonomous learning. Now, what is the objective of following andragogy, and in what way you need to change yourself as a teacher? You need to transform yourself from teacher to a facilitator of learning, right? To a facilitator of learning. Now, what is facilitator of learning, right? Wherein you need to create a conducive environment wherein you can claim that the learning takes place. Okay, so your role is little bit different in this case, because you need to come out of that mindset. The very first thing is that you need to come out of that mindset of a teacher, right? And unless and until you come out of that mindset, you cannot claim to be a facilitator of learning. So what you need to do as a teacher is you need to create a conducive environment, or just change your role from a teacher to a facilitator of a learning, right? Because the ultimate objective is how you can transform an ordinary student into a self-directed and autonomous learner, right? That is the philosophy of, I can say, the andragogy, right? So this is not at all new. This was very first time it was tossed by a German educator, Alexander Kapp, in 1833, right? Maybe more than 100 years, right? So this is why we need to be little bit, you can say, the conversant with all these technologies and so on, and we need to equip ourselves to adapt to those changing requirements. Okay, and in today's scenario, again, all of you will agree with me that what is happening is, due to this technological development, the things are changing with fast, right? Particularly the kind of, you can say, the disruption which is taking place with the help of this AI and all. Okay, so the student, they are not relying completely on the institution or maybe the teacher for learning purposes. They learn from various sources, and then you have to that you have to accept it. Okay, if you do not, then you are living in some different world, right? So you have to. Earlier, the things were different. So when I joined way back in 1990, things were altogether different. Okay, because there were no resources. I tell you, literally no resources. I am making a bold statement. Even the books were not available. Okay, even the books were not available, and few books were there. People used to photocopy it and then share it. Okay, legally not allowed, but those things were there those days. So those days the things were different. But now, let's say, if you try to, if you feel, if you are living in that world, okay, you are not a good fit for the today's education setup, right? That is what we need to understand as a teacher. And what is the solution? We need to upskill and reskill ourselves, right? In this changing environment. Okay, how it is, that is what we are going to have a look at when I will show you some of the tools. That is how you can upskill and reskill yourself, right? Now, before going ahead with all those aspects, let us try to understand what is teaching. So it involves classroom teaching, which takes place between the teacher and it is activity which takes place between the teacher and the student. And what is the outcome of a teaching? The outcome of the teaching is learning, right? So who is a teacher? Okay, again, we feel most of the time that teacher's job is bit easy. Okay, but if you look at this, these three statements, I'm sorry, I need to, yeah, you just give me a second. I'm sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Uh, really sorry for that. Okay. I've kept it on flight mode. Okay, so that there will not be any disturbance. I hope I am loud and clear, and I'm very much audible. Okay, and my slides are visible to you. Whether my slides are visible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the confirmation. So, who is a teacher? So, most of the time we feel that teaching is one of the easiest job. But my dear friends, it is not at all easy. It is one of the most challenging job, I tell you. Right? It is because it requires lot of things, right? Lot of you can say the peculiar characteristics that if you want to be a good teacher, you must have a creative proficiency of an artist, precise attitude of a scientist, and a perfected skills of a craftsman. Now, having said this, I've read out these three statements very easily, but they are domain in themselves, I tell you. Right? All of you will agree that it is not that easy. Because let's say if you are addressing to 60 odd students, nowadays the class strength is going beyond 60, I tell you, right? Because those things were there when we used to learn, right? 40 was the strength, I still remember. But nowadays, you are having 100 plus students in a classroom. Okay, and so meaning thereby you have 100 plus challenges sitting in front of you, and they are all different. Okay, some are fast learners, some are slow learners. Okay, some of them their IQ is little bit in between. But being a teacher, what do? Normally, you give them similar treatment. Okay, irrespective of whether the person is a fast learner or a slow learner or a mediocre or whatever, right? So we give them similar treatment, and that is the area wherein the role of the technology will come into picture, wherein you will find that in the years to come, you will find that personalized learning platform will be available across the globe. It is still available, but not at that you can say the stature, but the personalized, because my learning needs are different, your learning needs are different, rather capabilities are again different, right? So your job is not at all easy, I tell you, right? It is one of the most challenging job, right? It is one of the most challenging job. Okay, and there is one more term normally we toss about whenever we talk about teaching, we talk about learning, and training is one of them, right? So training is rather altogether different, right? So training is usually of a smaller duration, okay, and wherein you expect that whosoever is undergoing that training, he or she must attain a required knowledge or skill, and that too within a stipulated time. And usually the time duration is very small, maybe in weeks or months, not in years. Okay, just like we have in conventional program. Okay, and if you look at the historical perspective, how this term has evolved. Okay, it was evolved during World War II. What has happened? Those days there was dearth of rather shortage of the soldiers and so on. So the ordinary citizens, they were trained to operate the warfare equipment, and they were deployed on the war front, right? So that is what is training is all about, right? The training is altogether different, right? It is of a shorter duration, and you expect immediate results, right? Immediate result. Whereas learning and trainings are altogether different. Now, what is learning? Okay. Learning is, as a matter of fact, is a relatively permanent change in behavior resulting from reinforced practice. Okay, reinforced practice meaning thereby doing it again and again, right? So it is as a matter of fact, it is a process as well as a product. Why I'm saying process? Because you will undergo maybe in 4 years, okay, five subjects in each semester, okay, and you undergo some 40 odd subjects over a period of 4 years, and then you are transformed into a product, okay, and that product must be employable, right? If it is not, then then definitely there is something wrong in your system, right? And that's why it is said that it is a process as well as a product. Okay, and it is the nature or tendency of human being, right? Whether you join some you can say formal education system or not, it is the human tendency, that is we are all the time learning something or the other, right? Many times we learn from our parents, many times we learn from the society we live in, or many times we learn from various sources, right? So learning is a continuous process. It is the tendency of human being, and it is the process of, last but not the least, It is the process of mental development. Okay. Now there are two dimensions to it, rather three dimensions to it. I'm sorry. One is the cognitive, second is the affective, and the third one is the psychomotor. Right. So in the process of mental development, we are going in three different perspective, other dimensions. The very first dimension is the cognitive, second is the affective, and the third one is the psychomotor. I will talk more on these aspects in the slides to come. And another thing you need to note here is learning is both positive and negative. Most of the time we feel that as a teacher, that is our faith or the belief, you can say. That is, we feel that whenever learning is taking place, it is positive in nature, right? But the other possibility is there, that is negative, and one more is there that I will tell you later on. It is individual in nature. Why it is individual in nature? Your pace of learning is different, mine is different, and somebody else is altogether different. It is creative. Okay, why we need to, why I'm saying, when you transform an ordinary student to a critical thinker, then you can claim that you have achieved the objective of your education system, right? So it is critical thinking which is utmost important, right? So it is creative, it is critical thinking. All right. So learning is creative. It transform an ordinary student into a critical thinker. Now, having said this, okay, if you look at the goals of an education system, now if you look at the education system, just like you can say a computer system. So normally we have input and a process and output. Okay, so on this, in the similar line here, the input is, or the raw product is nothing but the student or the learner. Okay, and then they undergo some process. Okay, and what is that process? Maybe the curriculum. Okay, then you have certain jot down, you have jot down some achieved objectives. Then at the end, they are, once they finish up the course, okay, they leave your premises, and then whether they are employable or not, or some of them, they will become uh, employment generator as well, that is the entrepreneur also, right? So on the top, we have to have some intended learning outcomes. And what do? We map these learning outcome through the curriculum so as to achieve the desired result. So this is a typical structure of a education system. And the goal of any education system is to transform an ordinary student to a lifelong learner or a critical thinker. Right. Now, having said this, we will just have a cursory look at. I will not talk much on this because this is a self-explanatory block schematic. Okay. So basic teaching model has got only 4 blocks. The very first block is the instructional objectives. Second is the entering behavior. Third is the instructional procedure, and the fourth one is the performance assessment. Right. Now, if you look at my deliberation today itself, okay, if you look at slide number 2, that is nothing but the instructional objectives which I have set for today's session. Okay, and what is entering behavior? Let's say when you join some or the other course, particularly if you join a course in some professional organizations, what do? They go for a 0-8-day test. Okay, and then you undergo some instructional procedure, maybe 8 or 15 days training, or maybe 4 weeks training, or 8 weeks training, and then at the end, once again, they conduct the performance assessment. What is the objective of conducting the performance test in the beginning, or the 0-8-day test, and at the end, is to simply understand what kind of change has taken place, okay, while undergoing this particular training. So in the similar line, if you look at the education system, we have all these 4 blocks present there, right? Now, what we will do in today's session, we'll just try to examine this performance assessment to a greater detail, wherein we will see that is how we can go for a effective performance, or rather how Bloom's taxonomy can be used as a tool for the performance assessment and so on, right? So uh, the bottom line, I think it is very important to note, that is, there is no single pedagogy or the method. So you have 1,000 teacher and 1,000 methods. So no single method you can claim that it is the best for learning any particular thing, right? And this is a Chinese proverb, okay, very popular Chinese proverb. Okay, so what is it? It is basically so you cannot claim that. Let's say if I have adopted some X method, so I cannot claim that this is the only way in which this particular thing can be taught. Rather, this is the only best possible way in which this particular things can be taught. Right? It is not at all like that, right? Because there are ways and means, and you can achieve the same result or maybe better result, okay, when you adopt something else or some other approach or some other method, right? So having said this, the slides, okay, the instructional objectives, entering behavior, I'll not talk much on, because this is, as I have told you, it is the when you said it in the beginning, okay, entering behavior, describe the student's level before the instruction begins, that is before the instruction has begun. And then instructional procedure is the courses, whatever they undertake during a period of 4 year or 3 year, depending upon the duration, and performance assessment, which consists of the test and observation. So we'll be focusing on the last one, that is performance assessment, and how well we can make certain changes, rather how we can make use of ICT in particular for this particular purpose, that is the performance assessment purpose. Now, having said this, we'll just try to have some cursory look at some factors which are affecting learning. Okay, so that they are all self-explanatory. I will not talk on that, right? Say for example, some personal factors are there and some environmental factors are there. Maybe fatigue and boredom, maybe age and maturation. Okay, let's say I want to learn car and I'm running 57. Okay, at this point of time, it will be a bit difficult for me to learn how to drive a car. But let's say if you are young, maybe in your 20s or maybe in your 18, okay, then at that point of time, you can adapt it quite easily because your reflexes are strong and then you can take decision quickly and so on, right? So that age is again important. Emotional conditions are important. Needs are important. Interest and motivation. Okay. Last but not the least, aptitude and the attitude. Okay. Now, if you look at the current educational system, we are little bit ignorant. I am, you allow me, right? I am making some critical. See, the idea is to brainstorm on these topics, right? And that is why this NEP orientation and sensitization is there. So, aptitude and attitude. Why I'm saying so? Because if you look at the recruitment process of any mm, corporate company, okay, normally they do not pick students which has got 9.0 or 9.5 pointer. Normally they pick student maybe between 7.5 and 8 or maybe 7 and 8. Okay, and when you ask them, they will come up with this simple answer. Okay, sir, the student maybe this 9.5 wala banda is technically excellent, but when it comes to working in team or the aptitude and attitude, he is not a good fit in our company culture, right? So even if you are little bit low on the technical front, okay, there are takers for you, but you have to have that aptitude and attitude to learn, because you can be trained in those terms, right? But let's say if you are not good in teamwork, okay, there's no place for you, right? And that's why these factors are important. Okay, apart from that, some environmental factors are there. We'll not go into the details of all those factors, maybe the relationship with teachers, parents, and peers. Okay, so again, as I repeatedly am telling you, that is most of the time students learn from their peers. Okay, undoubtedly they learn from your teachers, but many times they learn from even from their parents or the society they live in. Okay, so there are numerous sources of learning. What I mean to say, there are numerous sources of learning. Okay, and that's why there are numerous factors which affects the learning, right? Now, what are the modes of learning? This is again very self-explanatory and basic concept is there. So many times we feel that the learning takes place within the four walls of the institution. That is again a myth, right? So learning by observation is there, learning by imitation is there, learning by trial and error, which is definitely in your laboratory session, whatever they do, whatever experimentation they get. Sir, I request. Hello, sir. I don't know who's talking, but my humble request to mute yourself. Okay, if you want to talk in between, then hello, hello. सर जी माझी नम्र विनंती आहे की आपण कृपया शांत बसावे. Right? So, as I was talking about learning by observation, trial and error, that is whatever they learn in the laboratories, and learning by insight, which is the highest level of learning, when you transform an ordinary student into a lifelong learner or maybe a critical thinker, right? So having said this, this is again, as I said, that is transfer of learning, being a teacher, we feel that all the time the positive transfer takes place. But there are two more possibilities. That is, one is the negative, and the second one is the zero. So what is negative and what is zero, that we will elaborate. But positive transfer is by default, our expectations are there, which takes place when the learning of a particular task facilitates the learning of another task. What we used to call it as prerequisites most of the time, right? So when you teach something in such a way that which creates certain questions in the mind of the student, which compel them to learn something more, right, on those front. So if learning of a particular task interferes with the learning of subsequent task, it is negative task. What we used to call it as general terminology, we confuse them, right? So there are maybe intentionally, unintentionally, I am not saying so, right? But if learning of a task has makes no difference, it is said to be a zero transfer. So that is again there. That is one more possibility is there. So transfer of learning is not all the time it is positive. It is negative as well as zero, right? It is negative as well as zero. Those things I have elaborated just now. Okay. Then there are various laws. Okay, the laws are self-explanatory. I'll not elaborate on that. But law of readiness, the student should be ready to learn. Then and then you can teach them. Okay, if they are not ready to listen, there's no fun in teaching at that point of time. Law of practice. Okay, doing it again, right? Law of effect is there. Okay, and so on. Okay. So, having said all these fundamental aspects, let us try to focus on what we intend to learn as far as this today's session is concerned. Okay, that is wherein again this is a little bit, you can say, the repetition of what we have already seen. That is, whenever we talk about learning, meaning thereby we are referring to some permanent change in behavior resulting from reinforcement practice. So if one is really learning, one's behavior becomes more effective and more adaptive. Effective and adaptive, meaning thereby it should be reflected in your the way in which you talk, the way in which you deal with the things, and adaptive, that is changes with respect to time. Okay, then what it used to be before. So before learning, your things were different. Okay, and your behavior must reflect after learning how it has changed. Right, that is what is the crust of the story. Okay, and as I have told you that there are three domains. Now let us try to explore these three domains in a little bit more detail. So the very first aspect is the cognitive, okay, wherein the knowledge and skills are important. Second is the affective, wherein feeling, emotions, and attitudes are important. And the third one is the psychomotor, wherein utilizing motor skill and the ability to coordinate them. That is whatever they do in the laboratory sessions. Now, if you look at our evaluation system or our education system in general, you will find that we give undue importance to the cognitive aspect. Okay, look at the assessment, look at the question paper, you will find that every now and then we test the knowledge of the students, right? Not their skills, right? And we give maybe around 70 to 80%. Okay, and I'll share you some astonishing figures when we will talk about Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, but the affective domain, which is equally important, as I have told you, that is when it comes to placement. Okay, emotion and attitude. That is attitude, aptitude, emotions. Those things are important, and our students are really good when it comes to the theoretical aspect. But while doing it on the field, most of the time they struggle, rather they fail. Okay, because we have not taken up this psychomotor aspect seriously when it comes to evaluation. Look at the examination system of practical examination, even though we have it, right? But we do not have an effective mechanism to conduct all those examinations. We conduct it very casually. Okay, I'm making some bold statement, but it is very much true. All of you agree with me, right? So we need to give rather equal treatment to all these three aspects, maybe 33, 33, 33. Then and then we can claim that, this is applicable. So some of you may come up, sir, for arts and humanities, it is not the scenario. But if you look at today's scenario, it is applicable to all the domains, right? Irrespective of whether you are from arts and humanities, or maybe you are from science and technology, or for that purpose, any other field or any other discipline, right? So having said this, let us try to re-examine the teaching learning process in the light of these aspects. Okay. So as I was talking about, that is the teaching learning process. Teaching is at the top and learning is at the bottom. Okay. And in between you have this cognitive, affective and psychomotor aspect. What is cognitive is knowing. Okay. Now, if you look at the question paper, you will find that most of the time we ask what is this and define this and elaborate this and so on. Right? That is understanding. Okay. We struggle, right? We do not go beyond that. Okay. Up to some extent, we go for some application or deriving a formula. But what about affective domain? Whether we have any mechanism to deal with these aspects, values, attitudes, interest, discipline. Okay, unfortunately, it is missing, right? Unfortunately, it is missing. And that is what is, you must have seen one movie by Amir Khan, right? Okay, which talks about these things, right? Your interest, okay, your discipline, but you are forced to do something which you do not want to do, right? Psychomotor. So doing, that is practical as skills, driving, assembling, painting, and so on. And at the bottom, what is it? It is the learning which takes place, right? So teaching and then the learning, and in between you have these three dimensions. That is the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor, right? Now, having said this, the KSA, they are again represented by a keyword called KSA, that is knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Okay. Knowledge is the cognitive domain. Whenever you are checking the student, that is what is this and define this. Okay. You are working at the knowledge level. Okay. Psychomotor is something which is dealing with these skills, and the affective domains wherein you are dealing with the attitudes, right? That is the emotions and aptitudes and so on, right? So this KSA is the you can say the building block for the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay. Now, what is Bloom's taxonomy? Let us try to elaborate this little further. I hope that those who are from engineering or technology background, they may be well acquainted with this, but we need to understand this from that perspective. That is the evaluation perspective, as I have told you. So this was, as a matter of fact, the very first time it was tossed by Dr. Benjamin Bloom. And who was Dr. Benjamin Bloom? He was a educational psychologist, okay, way back in 1956. So what he did, he conducted a study, okay, wherein he has come up with a taxonomy or the classification which deals with all these three aspects of, you can say, the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain, right? And it was a landmark theory which has revolutionized the education sector. Now it is almost, it is adopted by almost across the globe, almost all the institutions and so on, right? So we'll just try to explore this from our, you can say, the assessment perspective. That is, it is, as a matter of fact, it is a tool for instructor to assist with writing learning outcomes. If you remember slide number 2, to the curriculum planning, content delivery, as well as the assessment. Now, if you just try to recall the uh, basic teaching model, which we have seen earlier, wherein we have got the 4 blocks, okay, that is learning objectives, curriculum planning, content delivery, and the last block was the assessment. So it can be applied to any of these blocks, okay, in a single go, I tell you. And that is the beauty of this particular taxonomy or Bloom's taxonomy in general. So it is also called as the taxonomy of learning object. That was the another equivalent name given by Benjamin Bloom himself. And what they did, they carried out some survey on some a group of students. And to your surprise, as I said, that is in our education system, we are again struggling on the cognitive aspect. But when they have carried out their survey, they were shocked to see that over the, when it comes to assessment particularly, so Bloom found that over 95% of the questions students encounter require them to think only at the lowest possible level. And what is that lowest possible level? Is the recall of information. That is mugging up something and reproducing it. Now, gradually, what is happening, even due to this technological development, this is nowadays is completely, this concept is vanishing. Okay. Okay. That is, uh, this 95%, now if you look at Amravati University's paper, okay, for that purpose, or any other university's paper for that purpose, you will be surprised that we again, to some extent, give undue importance to the cognitive aspect. So what this fellow did, he has come up with a hierarchical kind of a structure, okay, wherein he has defined 6 different levels, okay, and these levels, the output of one level is the input to the next level, and so on. So what are those levels? Okay, just try to look at the bottom level. He classified it as a knowledge, okay, then comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. This is typically a Bloom's taxonomy, wherein evaluation is at the top and the knowledge is at the bottom. Now, if you look at the question paper, okay, whatever we set for the evaluation or assessment purpose, we do not go beyond this application, right? Many times, maybe 30 to 40% or maybe 50% stuff is there on knowledge, then some 10 to 20 on comprehension, maybe 10 to 20 on application, not more than that. Okay. And that's why whenever NAC committee visit your institution, they ask you for the question papers of the previous years. Okay, and then they come up with their comments or observation that, well, you are working at Bloom's level 3 only. Okay, not on 4, 5, and 6. Now, how to do it, how to achieve it, that is what we are going to discuss in the rest of the session, right? So, each level, there are some action verb associated. So remember is the lowest level, okay, which is associated with the knowledge, okay. And as I told you, that is each step up builds on the one below, requiring a higher level of thinking, more difficult learning activity. That is, let's say if you are working at the knowledge level, meaning thereby the difficulty level is the lowest. And let's say if you are working at the evaluation or synthesis level, meaning thereby the difficulty level is the highest, right? Now, having said this, let us try to look at certain keywords and just identify. Look at any paper, take any paper of Amravati University for that purpose and simply examine it. Okay, you will find these kinds of words, right? That is, if say identify, describe, name, label, recognize, reproduce, follow. Okay, maybe summarize, convert, defend, paraphrase. Again, I'm sorry to say that I didn't find anything like defend. Okay, in my entire career of 3.5 decades. Okay, so normally we do not have these keywords like say defend. Okay, paraphrase. Okay, interpret. Give example up to some extent is there, but while it comes to actual evaluation of the papers, again we are very much ignorant about it. Okay, so application, that is predict, prepare, construct. These keywords are missing in our question paper. Analysis, compare, contrast, it is there. Categorize, generalize, reconstruct, synthesis, again, appraise, critic, judge, justify, argue, and support. So, what I'm trying to emphasize here is we need to have something or the other on each level. Then and then you can claim that whatever evaluation system you have adopted, it is really good enough, right? It is really good enough, right? So what is it? It is now how to use Bloom's level for learning. Say, as I've told you, that is this taxonomy, whatever I have talked about just now, 6 levels. Okay, you can apply, rather use it for any purpose. As I said, learning outcomes, maybe for curriculum mapping, wherein you design COs, POs, and so on, right? So, course outcome, maybe the program outcome, and maybe some graduate attributes, and so on, right? So, for that purpose, again, you can use this taxonomy, or you can use it for the as a tool for jotting down the curriculum, and then you can very well use it for the assessment oblique measurement purpose, okay, which is our focal point as far as today's deliberation is concerned, right? So you can use this Blooms for various purposes, as I've told you, from scratch to finish. If you look at the basic teaching model, okay, from scratch to finish, you can use it for any damn purpose, right? Now, I will not elaborate on those aspects, but let us see some analyze, evaluate, create. Do we really have in our question paper keywords like design, formulate, build, invent? I have never ever seen that, if you right. Maybe I am wrong. Some of you must be using it. Okay, but allow me to tell you the truth. Okay, how to incorporate it? Again, that is $1 billion question. Okay, because for setting question paper of that sort, it will require a lot of time and energy at it. Okay, it is not that easy. You cannot set question paper within a single go, maybe half an hour. Okay, 3 sets and submit it. Okay, you need to take a lot of pains for that. Okay, you need to take a lot of pains for that. Okay. Now, as I've told you, that is, you can very well use it for designing the program outcomes, maybe graduate attributes. You can frame it using this Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so you can very well do that. I'll not elaborate on those aspects because our focal point is a little bit different. What are the various graduate attributes? Maybe disciplinary knowledge, communication skill, problem solving. Now, from the GA itself, you need to design the COs, POs, and so on. Okay, that itself will require another session. So I'm not simply we will have some cursory look at all these aspects. Right. So scientific reasoning, maybe reflective thinking, leadership readiness qualities, lifelong learning, and so on. Right. Again, you can design. This is simple sample POs for maybe UG, wherein you can come up with certain things like critical thinking, effective communication, environmental sustainability, and so on. Now, what is expected when it comes to writing these COs? Okay, the three peculiar characteristics they must possess. The very first one is they must be achievable within a stipulated time period, measurable, that is quantifiable, and it must be specific, typically one per unit, or maybe let's say if you have for that purpose 5 or 6 unit, maybe 5 and 6 COs are sufficient enough, right? So I'll not go on in these aspects because as I've told you, that is we will be talking much on the assessment purpose. So this is something what is ideally expected, but many of you do not agree with me. Maybe you will say, sir, remember and understand. Okay, so 30 to 40% must be given to, particularly for engineering and technology, or maybe science and technology courses. Okay, 30 to 40% must be given to this apply. Okay, that is what is there. Now, for structuring the course content, again, you may use it. Okay, so when you move up, meaning thereby the difficulty level increases. That one has to keep in mind. Okay, at the bottom, it is the lowest. It is the lowest. Then what has happened over a period of time? One of the student of Dr. Benjamin Bloom, he has come up with some uh, changes in the original Bloom's taxonomy, and it is popularly known as the revised Bloom's taxonomy. What is it? Two small changes he has carried out. The very first change which he proposed, it was changing the names in the sixth category from noun to verb. Earlier we were having noun like say knowledge, and that is to be converted to verb. So rather more specifically action verbs. Okay. And one another small change he has proposed, which was accepted by the word community, is he has interchanged the fifth and sixth position. That is, evaluate as the fifth and the create as the sixth one. Okay. So that is again very obvious because creativity, as I have told you repeatedly, I am telling you that it should be at the top. Okay, it should be at the top, and it basically it differentiate between knowing what and knowing how, right? So that is the, you can say, the bottom line of the changes which he has proposed. And as I have told you, that is knowledge he has changed to remember. Okay, okay, then understand, application, apply, analysis, analyze, evaluate, and these two things were a little bit changed. Okay, that is rather they were interchanged, I should say more specifically, that is evaluate and create. So create is at the top and the evaluate is just next to it. Okay, and the output of each level is the input to the next level, and so on. So this is popularly known as the revised Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, and it is worldwide, it is adopted by most of the premier institution and so on. Now, let's say even if you are working at the knowledge level, again there are one has to understand that there are four dimensions to knowledge itself. So even though it is the lowest, but you can set question in such a way that is, instead of working at the factual knowledge, if you go from conceptual to procedural to metacognitive, okay, it will create a greater impact on the assessment system, right? So what is conceptual? It is the interrelationship. What is factual? It is the basic element that you must know, that is what and so on. Okay, procedural, that is how to do something, methods of inquiry. What is metacognitive? It is the knowledge of cognition in general, right? So how we can, even though, let's say, even if you are setting some questions on the bottom, but how you can go from factual knowledge to metacognitive knowledge, that is again very important when it comes to assessment, right? When it comes to assessment. Now, having said this, there is another aspect which I have told you is the affective domain. So first is the cognitive, second is the affective. So this was again the same group. Bloom's. Sorry. Sorry, sir. If you are talking, please do not talk among yourself. Right. It's my humble request. Okay. So the affective domain wherein you have all these aspects that we'll see. So again, I will not elaborate on this because the idea is to simply have a cursory look at these aspects, and then we will move to the you can say the some of the ICT tools and so on. So receiving, responding, valuing, maybe organization, characterization, and so on. Right, these are the five uh, levels which this Krothol has defined. Okay, and it is also popularly known as the Krothol's taxonomy of affective domain. Right, they are all self-explanatory. That is, receiving meaning there were students' willingness to learn. Responding means how do they interact. Valuing means how much value they assign to a particular thing. Okay, organizing meaning thereby how they are bringing it together, and so on and so forth. Right. Now, let us come to our, you can say, the focal point, which I have promised you, that is how to use Bloom's taxonomy for the assessment purpose. Okay. So, Bloom can be very well applied for assessment purpose. Let's say if you are setting MCQ sort of a question, meaning thereby you are working at the lowest level, that is Bloom's level 1. Okay. If you are asking the student to summarize an article, meaning thereby you are working at the understand level. Okay. If you are I'm sorry, really sorry. Please mute yourself, ma'am. Right. So I'll give you ample opportunity to interact. Okay, no worries. Let me complete for within 10 minutes. Okay, it is almost the end of the first session. Okay, so analyze the case study. That is analyzing Manila Bloom's level 4 and creating. Let's say if you are asking the student to create a spreadsheet for a particular task, maybe for computing the income tax for a particular financial year, then in that case, as a matter of fact, you are working at the highest level, that is the creativity level, which is the Bloom's level 6. Right. So how do we move from the lowest to the highest? That is the $1 billion question here, right? That is the $1 billion question here. Now, before moving ahead with all those aspects, okay, how to set and other, how to make use of various tools for these purposes, okay, we need to understand what are the problems which are typically faced by our technical education in particular, right? So the certain problems which I have jotted down here, there may be, this is again an indicative list, you may come up with your own, but all of you agree with me, that is, we give undue focus on certification. Still, let's say, I'm sorry, madam, please do not talk. Right? I'm really surprised. Actually, one of the speaker, he spoke to me on this aspect, okay, on a telephone call, wherein he complained that sir, the participants are talking amongst themselves, which is really very surprising. Okay, so I humbly request you, all of you, please do not talk. I will give you ample opportunity. You can come up with your deliberations. ठीक है ना, जो आपको लगेगा हम आपको definitely सुनेंगे, लेकिन थोड़ा मुझे सुन लीजिए यार. ठीक है, so undue focus on certification, undue focus on marks, because we have a fixed passing criteria. Okay, but if you look at the premier institutions like IIT, they do not have this sort of thing. The professor is entitled to fix his or her own criteria for a particular subject, depending upon the difficulty level. He or she may set up the passing criteria as 30 or 10 or maybe 20. Okay, but in our system, what is it? It is 40%. Okay, lack of qualitative feedback. As a matter of fact, there is no feedback. Okay, if you want to feel the ground reality, as a matter of fact, there is no feedback. Lack of assessment of high level outcomes, lack of assessment of complex outcome, meaning thereby I am referring to the Bloom's level now, right? Liberal marking, those who are becoming autonomous, they are using this marking system or assessment system as another weapon, right? So which is as a matter of fact, if you are doing so, you are one of the biggest enemy of your student, I tell you, right? Because they will pass, you will throw your burden from your institute to the society, and that is not employable. What is the use of this kind of education system? Lack of assessment culture and language of assessment. Now here we will just try to focus on certain things wherein it is typically required for development of the ability of self-assess, required to self-directed or lifelong learner. That is, That is again is the ultimate aim of any education system. That is what we need to do. But unfortunately, we are lacking in these aspects, and we need to. And that's why this NEP is there. Okay, NEP is intended for that, right? NEP is intended for that, wherein we will have a holistic approach for this examination system, right? Wherein equal weightage, as I was talking about, should be given to cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain, right? So, having said this, let us try to examine what is assessment and what are the various types of assessment, right? So typically we call some assessment, okay, understanding what for these assessments are carried out basically, so as to understand the understanding, and let's say if you want to improve the students' learning, okay, that is the objective. It is not the objective to punish them or penalize them or do something else, right? The ultimate aim for the assessment is to understand, improve, right? Evaluation is a judgment. Now, these two terms normally we toss, we feel that they are synonymous. Okay, many times we put a slash in between and start using them, but as a matter of fact, they are different. Wherein evaluation is a judgment or determination of the quality of performance, product, or use of a process against standard. That is, whenever your student passed out and they join some or the other institution, okay, for employment purpose, there they are evaluated, and there the performance matrix is altogether different. It is not the matrix whatever you use while they are undergoing your course, right? So that is how these terms are a little bit different. Now again, when we say assessment evaluation, we have understood, okay, which type of assessment one has to use. Okay, so which assessment, again, that is a $1 billion question. Okay, but before moving ahead with directly with the assessment, uh, one thing I would love to share with you, that is, many times it is said that the cooking is easy, but washing the utensil is difficult. And so similarly, lecturing in the class is bit easier, but conducting the assessment is the most difficult task. I tell you, it is not only difficult; it is rather one of the most difficult tasks. But how do we take it? Whether we take it that much seriously, okay, then that is again we need to introspect. Okay, we need to introspect, and we need to, and that's why when it comes to you can say cooking, okay, the difficult portion is assigned to the better of the family, right? So therefore the decision about method of assessment, which particular assessment method you must use, it is one of the most important and crucial decision to take. Okay, so as to achieve some effective learning environment, right? So having said this, I promised you that maybe at 4 o'clock or 4:30 I'll offer you tea. So here the tea is coming up for you, right? So you just try to enjoy it. Okay, it is basically, it is tea is nothing but the technology enabled assessment. Now how we can make use of various tools, okay, rather ICT tools more specifically for assessment purpose. Okay, so it typically encompasses the use of computer. Okay, some of the tools you may be using it in your day-to-day life. So it is typically suitable. Earlier, this was the myth with regard to the T. That is, it was suitable for objective testing. Okay, so which typically includes maybe multiple choice question, match the following, true or false, or to put it simple, for the question that have a clear correct or incorrect answer, right? But that's why I'm saying it was a myth. Now, if you look at any tool, it is not only well suited for objective testing, it is again best suited for the subjective assessment. Rather, what we call it as in general terminology is the you can say the descriptive type of questions, right? So where the faculty intervention is required, so that is again very much possible. So T help us in enable submission of, you can say, an assignment on time, detection of plagiarism, and to promote collaborative work, right? So this is how T can be used, that is technology enabled assessment can be used for maybe objective testing, subjective assessment, maybe diagnostic assessment. Now these are the types of assessment, right? So what is diagnostic assessment is to understand where the what is the problem with the student, where exactly the problem is. And there is summative assessment, typically contributing to the final grade. Okay, so you may have all these aspects, okay, when it comes to assessment. Okay, and there are various tools available for that. We will examine some of the tools, rather we will have some hands on in the session itself on some of the tools, okay, which deals with all these types of assessment. Okay. So, and the last one is what they call it as the integrative assessment. Okay, wherein you may integrate various types of assessment methodology in one go in a particular tool. Okay, wherein normally the model answer or online task, certain things are provided. Right. Now, having said this, these are the tools for assessment, wherein I hope that you may be using it. Some of them may be Google Form. All of us, we are using it extensively for the information gathering purpose or maybe for assessment purpose, right? So Google Form, then hot potatoes, Pleaker is there, formative assessment wherein you have class kick, hot potatoes, maybe answer garden. So answer garden will explore. Answer garden is typically used for gathering the feedback, okay, or maybe brainstorming on a particular topic. So how to use it, that is what I'll show you. Okay, then you have summative assessment. Again, hot potatoes is there, class kick is there. Okay, for project work, laboratory work, e-portfolio is there, collaborative learning assessment, Flipgrid, Geoparty Labs, e-portfolio, maybe NetLogo, all those tools we will just try to have a look at. But before selecting a particular tool, okay, we need to see or rather examine whether that particular tool is worth or not, or it is really good or not, right? So there is a criteria, what they call it as the SAMR criteria, which you can very well apply, and you can conclude that whether a tool is good or bad, or standard or not standard. Okay, so this was SAMR model. It was developed by Dr. Ruben. And what is it? It is a framework for examining how technologies incorporated in analytical tools and so on, right? So there are four, each character, SAMR stands for something or the other. S stands for some substitution, that is students can fill out the forms online. Let us apply this to Google form and just examine whether it is standard or not. Is augmentation. Teachers curate the students' responses. Yes, it is there in Google form. Modification, teachers and student can collaboratively analyze. Yes, this feature is again there in Google Forms. Last one, that is redefinition. Teachers can reach unlimited learners all around the world and can share the result with them. Again, this feature is very much present in Google Form. So you can very well conclude that Google Form is a standard tool which one can adapt for the assessment purpose, right? Which one can adapt for the assessment purpose. Now, having said this, let us try to examine some of the tools. But I'll no worries. I'll demonstrate all these tools in the live demonstration. The very first tool is the hot potatoes. The idea behind picking up this particular tool is pretty simple, that it is a freeware. Okay, it has been built on free and open source philosophy. So no license fee, nothing you need to pay, and you can use it for the lifetime. So it is, as a matter of fact, a bundle of seven tools. Oh, sorry, six tools, out of which five are there for creating some or the other exercises, and there is a masher. Sixth one is a masher, which can be used for creating one unit out of those five exercises. So let's say if you want to set, fill in the blanks, crossword puzzle, match the following, jumbled sentence, and so on, and you want to offer it as a one single unit, you can very well use masher for creating it as a one unit. I'll demonstrate you in the session itself. Okay, these are some of the screenshots, but no worries. I'll show you that is how it works. Okay, how to create this crossword and so on, right? How to create jumbled sentence exercise and so on. Now, to conclude, what are the two key takeaways as far as this session is concerned? You need to identify at which level you are working. So what is the level in which you are working when it comes to setting up the question paper, and how you can transfer. Let's say you are working at level number 4. So how you can go to 5 and 6? That should be the objective, right? That should be the objective. So this is all from my end as far as the theoretical stuff is concerned of the very first session. Okay, the second session, as I promised you, that I'll show you some of the tools, right? I will show you. But before that, I would love to take few questions, and that is the reason behind putting this little bit 10 to 15 minutes, okay, for some discussion, right? Yes. I'm facing some bandwidth issue, and that's why, okay, yeah. So I hope all of you are with me. The strength is now 60 or 59, 60. It is toggling between 59 and 60. So if there are any question as far as whatever we have seen, okay, uh, maybe 1 hour 15 minutes, because we started dot at 3 o'clock. So it is 4:16. So 1 hour 16 minutes. There are two possibilities. Okay. All right. Whether I should directly move to the tools, or there are any questions. Wherein as a matter of fact, I was expecting a lot of questions, because there are many things which needs you can say some hot discussion as well. Okay. तो क्या लगता है आपको? हमने कोशिश की है भाई, जो छोटा मोटा आपको बता सकते हैं. What do you feel? Are there any questions? Are you with me first of all? Any one of you? Because the strength is good enough. Around 60 participants are there. Okay. Hello. Deepali Padole madam. Or there are many, okay, well, because you have kept your camera on, that's why I'm asking. Meshram madam, Praveen Thakre sir. I hope I am loud and clear. And all of you are with me at this point of time. Anand Deshmukh sir. Santosh Katore sir. I will not trouble you, sir. Rao sir. Abhijit Dongar Dive sir. Dr. Rajesh Deshmukh. All right. Well, to sum up, as far as the first session is concerned, okay, we have seen starting from scratch what is teaching, learning, okay, and we have also discussed the basic teaching model, okay. Then gradually we have moved to certain aspects of Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, we tried to define what is learning. It is a mental development. Okay, and there are three dimensions to it. Okay, what are those dimensions? Is for the very first one is the cognitive. Second one is the affective, and the third one is the psychomotor. Right, and then at the end we have seen that is how we can make use of technology, that is what is T, that is technology enabled assessment, wherein we have seen various types of assessment. The thin demarcation line between assessment and evaluation, okay, and then we have also discussed some of the tools, okay, but I have not demonstrated all those tools. So as I have promised you, that is in the second session, okay, we will have some hands-on on those types of tools. But I request all of you. I am I'm little bit actually one important aspect which is left as far as your batch is concerned is I don't think that nobody has talked on the research and development, right? So that's why what I'll do, I'll talk something on the research as well, okay. So that is again one of the expectation of the implementing agency like UGC or AICT, that is teaching is our primary job. But apart from teaching, there are few more expectations, right? But I'll be continuing for another 90 minutes, okay? But I hope all of you allow me to take a break of say 5 to 10 minutes, right? But I request all of you to please don't go away. Okay, we will start within 7 to 8 minutes, not more than that, right? So it's 16:22. Okay, we will start at sharp 16:30. Okay, 7 to 8 minutes as I promised, maybe a little bit earlier than that, right? So, but if you have any question in between, you can fire it. So you please don't go away. Okay, we will restart the session at 4:30. All right, maybe within 5 minutes. Okay, thank you very much for patience hearing. Hello. I hope I'm welcome back. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So as I've told you, that is in the second session, we will have a look at various tools, right? We will have a hands-on on various tools, right? So I'll start from one important tool, okay? But before taking you directly to the tool, okay, I need to know your opinion. That is, in this changing scenario, what do you feel? Whether we need to adapt to the technological changes which are taking place, okay? Because if you look at maybe 10 to 20 years down the line, when the computers uh, dominated almost all the fields, what has happened? People started saying that even if you are illiterate, but if you are not a computer literate, you are illiterate, right? So on the similar line, what is happening uh, in 2025, maybe from 22 to 2022 onwards, since the inception of chat GPT and the tools like that, that is generative AI, okay, things are changing. Okay, now it is being said that irrespective of your profession, let's say whether you are a teacher or whether you are a doctor or you are a lawyer, and let's say if you are not conversant with all these AI tools, okay, again you are a illiterate, right? I'm making some. I used to make these kind of statements, little bit bold statement, but all of you agree. That is, now we are not left with anything. Now we don't have a choice on whether we do use ICT or maybe AI tools. The question what is remain in our hand is how well we do it, right? So it is not why I'm saying so, because things have changed drastically, and the students are using it. Okay, so when the students are using it, and let's say the teachers are not aware about those tools, how you will assess, how you will examine, how you will differentiate whether the stuff submitted by the student in terms of a assignment is is any uh, tool generated, or whether it is written by him or her in his own words, right? And that is why I'm saying that is these the learning environment is changing. Okay, so we need to change as a teacher. Okay, now maybe I'm left with around three and a half years of service. Okay, so I'll not be with you, but those who are young particularly, okay, they have to change. If they do not change, okay, only God can save them, right? So this is a sort of warning, you can say, right? So you must have seen when the computerization of the banking sector took place, okay, maybe 10, 15 years down the line. What has happened? Those who were reluctant to adapt, okay, they were forced to retire. Okay, the government, what they did, they have given them, okay, well, take your this retirement benefits, lump sum, and you leave us, please, right? So on the similar line, and intentionally, I'm saying, sir, Hadole sir, and the other maybe some senior faculty members are there. The idea behind talking on these line is is only to make you aware of what is happening at the AI front and so on, right? So all of you will agree that AI is becoming a bottleneck, right? AI tools are becoming a bottleneck, right? The students are using it. So we need to use it. We need to start using it. Now, how it is to be used? Okay, what are the gray areas? Okay, and what what are the things wherein, let's say, you feel that it should not be allowed and so on. That is not in our hand. Okay, that is a policy decision which will be taken up by the government of India at the appropriate time. Okay, there are countries wherein they have curtailed it, and I do agree that it needs certain regulation. Okay, there is no doubt about it. But the problem is, uh, how we need to adapt to this changing requirement, right? So, having said this, let us start with various tools. Okay, so the very first tool is, as a matter of fact, okay, hot potatoes we will examine. Okay, no doubt about that. But we will start with a very important tool. Okay, and which can be used for teaching, learning, and assessment purpose. Okay, if let's say all of you are well acquainted with, you please ask me, sir, you skip this particular tool. We know it. Rather, we are using it extensively. I will skip that. Okay, but I'll start with a very uh, fundamental tool, and for using that tool, okay, you do not require other than a Gmail ID. Okay, so let's say all of us we have got our Gmail account. Okay, all of us we have got our Gmail account. So you can very well use it without any hitch, right? So we'll start with a tool called Notebook LM. Uh, I would love to know your reaction in this regard. Okay, by that time, just allow me to share my entire screen. Okay, so that things will be visible to you in the, yes. Right. I hope my screen is visible to you. Any one of you just confirm. Hello. Whether my screen is visible to you. Any one of you, please confirm so that I can proceed further.
You said your Zoom screen is visible, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So as I said, that is Notebook LM. Okay. So it is a product of Google. Okay. For using it, you do not require anything other than the Gmail account. Okay. So I'm trying. You can simply click on this try Notebook LM. Now, let's say if you are using your organizational account, it won't allow you for using it, because just because of the IT policy which is in place. Okay, say for example, right now I'm logging with my HRDC account, so it will not allow me. That's why I'm getting this kind of response. So you need to simply say sign in with a different account. Okay, now I can use my personal Gmail account for that purpose. Now let's say I have logged in. Okay, this is what, okay, Notebook LM is all about, right? So this is how you will get the screen. Okay, right. So let us move ahead with this, okay, and try to create a new notebook. As I have told you, that is this tool can be used for teaching, learning purposes. Okay, so let's say you want to create a new notebook. Simply click on this create new. All right. Moment you click on create new. I may be little fast. Okay, you may ask me to repeat a particular step if required. Okay, I'll try to make it as slow as possible. Okay, so what I did, I simply signed with my Google or Gmail account personal account more specifically, let's say if you are using your organizational account, it won't work. Okay, because there are restrictions. Okay, when it comes to organizational Gmail account, for example, sgbau.ac.in, it will not work. But for your personal account, it will definitely work. But what I will advise you, instead of using your personal account for using all these sorts of tool, it's better that you create a separate Gmail ID. You may name it for your purpose, whatever you feel appropriate. Okay, you give the nomenclature and use it for that purpose only. Because what happens, whenever you use these sorts of tools, you will be bombarded with a lot of emails. Okay, because the beta version of all these tools is free. But let's say if you want to use the full-fledged version, okay, you need to pay some subscription fee for that. And that's why you will be every now and then with some or the other name, you will be bombarded with some or the other email, okay, asking you to go for a subscription or a paid service. Okay. Having said this, okay, what I did, just I wanted to show you, that is simply go to your Gmail, okay, go type notebook LM, okay, and there you will find these three types of tab over there. Okay, moment you create, okay, you can get the sources, chat and studio. These are the three you can say the layouts or the utilities available under this notebook LM. Okay, simply click on this sources. Okay, now I may load it from, right, again let me repeat it. So create new. Okay, and as I said, that is sources. So add sources. What I can do, let's say one research paper I am having at my disposal. That research paper itself I can load here. So I can choose if some file is there in my existing desktop, right, or on my machine on which I am working. So I can directly pick up a file, upload it as a resource, or there are few more possibilities. I can get it from my Google Drives, or even I can get it from the website. Okay, or the another option is even you can copy and paste something you have copied on the clipboard, that can be pasted directly here as a source. Okay, so I hope that the sources button is clear to all of you. That is, when you click on create new, okay, it will ask you to add sources. So under add sources, you can pick up any file, as I said. Okay, let's say I'll pick up some file. Okay. One paper which I have shared with you on the WhatsApp group, I request all of you to go through that paper. I think it was a discussion paper on AI. Or let me pick up some other file because I am not finding it at this point of time. I'll pick up my brief profile. Okay, a one-page profile. Okay. So what I did, I have added that file. Okay. Now you can replace this file by any research paper. Okay. Now once you have uploaded that file, automatically what will happen in the chat box? Okay, it will analyze that file. Okay, it will show you some summary of that particular document. Let's say if you have loaded a research paper, the summary of that paper will come up here. Okay, now you can chat with this file. Okay, this, if you can see here, just resources, and then you have got this chat. Okay, let us since it is a profile. Okay, let us try to find out the strength of It is my own profile, let's say Mohammed Atiq. Okay. Or you can fire a query like, what are the strengths, okay, of Mohammed Atiq? Now I'm chatting with that PDF. Okay, it is very similar to chat PDF tool, which is again very commonly available. Now it is coming up, okay, with my strength, whatever it has. So it is analyzing the document, one-page document, comprehensive qualification, extensive teaching, whatever. Right? And the idea is not to demonstrate my potential, but the idea is to simply show that is how it works. Okay, to show how it works. All right. So this is the second thing, that is sources. Then you can chat. Okay. Then you have one more facility over here. What they call it as the studio. Okay. So let's say from student perspective, okay, if you are, let us assume that you are on the go, that is you are traveling, and still you want to learn. So what you can do, you can very well translate this file, PDF file, whatever is the research paper, into an audio, okay, by going through this studio. Okay. So what studio will do, it will translate that file in the form of a podcast, wherein there is some interaction going on between two persons, right? Say, let us assume, okay, so what you need to do is you need to simply click on this generate button. See, mind well, this is available free of cost, okay, and Google is not charging anything for you because it is a beta version. Maybe when they will launch the full-fledged version, they may ask you to go for some subscription fee for this. Okay, but it is again very again as you can see here, there are buttons like study guide, briefing talk, timeline, what are the FAQs, frequently asked questions, and so on and so forth. Right. So even you can create notes and so on. Right. So it is what is it doing right now in the studio functionality? It is generating the conversation based on one source. Okay, it normally requires a little bit more time. Okay. So what is Notebook LM? Notebook LM is a tool which student as well as you can say researcher or even teachers, they can use it for teaching learning purposes. Okay, for learning you can very well use it, as I have told you, that is it will translate it into a conversational file or a audio file, which is very you can say a podcast kind of a thing. Okay, podcast kind of thing. Okay, so that is how this one works. Okay. Now, if you have any question with regard to this, okay, it will take some time. Okay, maybe some bandwidth issues are there, but what I'll do, I will show you something which I have already generated, so that you can feel the heat. That is how it works. Okay, let me go to my yeah. So there are these four files which I have generated. Let me load this. Okay, and this is the conversation which I have tried last time. Okay, it is loading the conversation. Now it is interactive mode, beta version is there. That is what I was talking about. That is, it is not, it is a beta version. Okay, now it has been loaded because everything is there in the cloud, Google Cloud. Okay, it takes a little bit more time. Right. So what it is doing, this is my once again my CV which I have loaded for a specific position in some specific university. So as you can see here, it is being. I hope you can very well listen to the audio. Okay. the idea, because if I play the entire audio, you may ask, hey, sir, you are playing your own CV. Okay, that is not the objective. The objective is to simply demonstrate the functionality of this particular tool. Functionality of this particular tool. Right. Right. All right. So this is a sort of interaction which is taking place between two person in the form of a podcast, which is very interactive in nature. So for this purpose, let's say if you upload a research paper and if you want to learn everything about that paper, okay, you can very well convert it into through this studio. You can convert it into some audio conversation, copy that conversation onto your mobile, and start listening to it. Okay, maybe even when you are traveling. All right, so this is all about Notebook LM, which is the very first tool, which I feel is the most appropriate one as far as this discussion is concerned. Okay, now are there any questions as far as this is concerned?
Hello, sir.
Ji. Boliye, madam.
Sir, is there any limit for uploading the document,
At
like
present,
its
madam,
size or pages? Yes, sir.
no, actually, whatever I have experimented, it takes around 50 pages quite easily. There are no
O-
restrictions. But
Okay,
when you generate this file, audio file, it will take a
okay.
lot of time. Okay, it will
To
take a lot of
generate that file.
yes, yes. This one, the right hand side. But you can chat easily. Once it is loaded, you can chat it. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And
So
sir, that mind map one option is there below audio review?
yes. So there are many things. Okay, there are many
Okay.
things.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
many things. So it is now generating the mind map. Okay, even audio overview. You can add notes. So there are very many
Okay.
things. What I am doing, I am showing you the basic functionality. Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is how it has come up. This is the mind map. Right.
Okay, this is
So
mind map.
yeah. So this is my profile. Okay, and this is research and publication, then administrative experience, major, whatever is there in that stuff. Okay, leadership
Okay.
experience, desirable experience, and then so on and so forth. Right. So
Yes.
this will help you in learning anything new. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is the only object.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anything else? Right. So let us move to another tool. Is this okay as far as Notebook LM is concerned? So what is Notebook LM? It is basically a Google product. Okay, and you can very well use it for teaching learning purposes. So you can upload any paper, research paper, or any damn paper for that purpose. Maybe doc file, or you can copy and paste. As I have told you, that is sources can be even. Let's say my profile. This profile is available on my SGBAU website. So I can specify the complete path and I can extract that paper directly. Okay. But if certain papers, research papers, which are accessible only through controlled environment, that is your login credentials, in that case, it will not fetch those papers. But if it is available in public domain, it will very well do it, right? So let's say my profile, as I have said, that is if it is there in my on my official website, that is SGBAU website. So I can very well fetch it and I can analyze it. So even website can be a resource, or your Google Drive can be a resource, or for that purpose you can copy and paste, as I've told you. That is, if something you have copied on a clipboard, okay, you can directly paste it, or there are very many possibilities, right? So this is how it works, right? Notebook LM. Shall we move further? Hello,
Yes, sir.
chaliye. So there are tools like Answer Garden. Have you heard this? Let's say you are new, simply Google it. Okay, answergarden.ch is the website. Okay. So what for this tool is used? This tool is used for brainstorming. Let's say if you are delivering something in an online mode and you want to brainstorm on a particular topic. Okay. So in that case, you can use this tool. It is very fantastic tool. Okay. Go to this website, answergarden.ch. Okay. Click on this plus sign, which is the tooltip. If you look at it, is create an answer garden. So click on that. Okay. Moment you click on that, something like this will appear. If I'm going fast, you please let me know. Okay. What is the purpose of this tool? The purpose of this tool is to brainstorm on a particular topic. There are various ways and means in which it can be dealt with. Okay. So let us give the title as feedback. Right. All right. Then this is what I was talking about, that these are the 4 modes in which it can be executed. So this is an online tool. Okay. So brainstorm, maybe classroom mode or moderator mode or logged mode. Okay. Right now we will just try to examine only one. Okay. Then that is we will keep it in the brainstorming mode. Okay. What is it? You need to sign up maybe with your Gmail ID and so on. If you have not done so, okay, you need to do it. Okay. Then the beauty of this tool is the audience or the student, they can give their responses either in 20 characters or in 40 characters at max. So you have these two possibilities here, 20 or 40. Okay, let us pick 40. Okay. Okay. And then enter your email ID and so on. Okay. Now, again, you can make it case sensitive. Maybe either you can get the responses in lowercase or uppercase or no change and so on. And then simply click on this create. Moment you create on click on create, the answer garden has been created. Now, what you need to do is you need to share this ID. Okay, this URL. Okay, with the participant or the student. And whatever responses they type, they will start appearing here. Let's say I myself will type something. Okay. Let's say good. Okay. Some of you may try. Okay. What I'll do. This is the answergarden.ch/4997455. Okay, 4997455. Okay. So all those responses will start appearing here. Then what you can do, you can analyze all these responses. Okay, you can moderate it. You can share, even you can share a QR code with the participant. Okay, or you may share it with the rest of the world, or you can perform certain functionalities when it comes to admin. You can refresh it so as to see the responses and so on. So this is a tool, very fantastic tool for brainstorming on a particular topic. Okay, brainstorming on a particular topic. Maybe, as I've told you, these are the 4 modes. Each mode I will not demonstrate. I'll leave it to you to explore it. Okay, if you really want to use it, you can very well later on you can try some hands-on on this. Right. So this is the second tool, which is for
Excuse me, sir.
yes. Boliye ma'am.
Sir, this is free, na sir?
This
We
is
can
completely free,
sign
ma'am.
up with Google
Yes,
account only.
yes. You can sign up with Google account or Gmail account. No need to pay any single pie, right? No subscription fee, right? Nothing like that.
Sir,
It is
it is
complete.
showing only 7 days trial.
No, the beta version, that is what, right? Beta version, say for
Okay.
example, there are very many functionality. Basically, it will work. Okay,
Okay,
7
sir.
days trial, it will work. Okay,
Hmm.
but let's say if you want to use it to its fulliest extent,
Hmm.
okay, fulliest extent meaning thereby you can analyze these results, and these you can take a vote on a particular issue. You know. And
Okay.
then let's say you want to analyze based on the gender, what are the responses when it comes to female participant, male participant, or a
Hmm.
specific age participant, and so on. So that is again there, but that is there in the you can say the professional version, right?
Okay,
But
sir.
the basic tool will work. Basic tool will work. Okay.
Basic tool. Yes, sir.
Yes, it will work. Basic functionalities will be there. Okay.
Yes,
Even you can
yes.
moderate the answers. Okay. You can
Okay.
moderate the answers. Okay. So moderation is again possible.
Okay,
So
sir.
this is another tool. Okay. Now I think all of you are a little bit more inclined to the free and open source tools, right? So I'll share you one small tool which is completely online, Net Logo. Have you heard this Net Logo, right? And to your surprise, this is as a matter of fact, this is a product of a ccl.northeastern.edu. Now, if you look at the URL itself, it is an academic project, right? And again, it has been built on free and open source philosophy, what they call it as the FOSS philosophy, wherein nobody is the owner. So you can download this tool on your desktop. You can play with it. Comes with the source code as well, right? Or let's say if you are a new user, okay, and here you do not require even a mail ID for logging in or maybe using certain features, right? So this is ccl.northeastern.edu net logo, right? That is the URL. Okay, this is the URL you need to remember, or you can Google it out. Okay. So what is it? This is a simulation tool. Let's say you want to teach a particular subject, which is little bit more complicated, and it is bit difficult to explain that concept with the help of a chalk and board. Okay. So in that case, you can very well use this particular tool, and it is very handy and very powerful tool. I'll show you. I don't know whether somebody from computer science is there, but there is a library. Okay, you need to simply click on this library models. There are thousands of models. Okay, go to this NetLogo library, and you will find. Now it is not only for computer science or you can say the IT or maybe science and technology people. It is for everyone. Okay, let's say there are models available in art, biology. As you can see, I am simply exploring it. Okay, so art, biology, then of course computer science is there, and there are thousands of models. Chemistry and physics. Okay, some boiling temperature, because I am not well acquainted. I'll show you something which I am conversant with. That is computer science. Okay, na? लेकिन gas chromatography and physics, as I have told you, there are thousands. Let us try to see one problem which is very popular in computer science, what they call it as dining philosophers problem, right? I will not go into the details of the dining philosophers problem, but in brief, I would like to tell you that is this is typically used for interprocess communication and synchronization. That is one of the area wherein you need to presume. So what I'll do, I'll simply click on this dining philosophers. Let's see what happens. Okay. So this dining philosophers problem, it has come up over there. Okay. Let's say you are completely new. Okay. It is well documented. Okay. So you will find some stuff like what is it, how to use it. Okay. How it works. Okay. Then how to use it. Okay. Things to notice, things to try. Okay. Extending the model, and so on and so forth. So not only you can play with this, you can very well download the source code on your machine, right? And you can ask the student to modify that code as well, and again run that code. Okay. So as I've told you that this is copyright and license. Okay, copyright 2003 Yuri Velinsky, right? So this is how the developed nation, how do they work, right? This is an academic project. Okay, completely academic project. Okay, let us try to run this particular model. Okay, what you need to do is there are two ways in which you can run it. So if you download the NetLogo application, you can download it onto your machine and then run it. Okay, this model is included as the same. You can also run it in the NetLogo web, that is in online mode. Let us try running it in online mode, that is NetLogo web. Simply click on that. Okay. So your model is coming up, right? Now you can set parameters. You can create your own environment. Okay, how? Go to simply this setup. Everywhere you will find this kind of environment over there. Okay, setup. Okay, go to setup. You can increase the number of philosophers. The idea is, let's say these are all philosophers, dining philosophers. They are sitting on the round table, and we have limited number of forks, right? And for eating purposes, they need to share these forks among themselves. So how do they share? And how many of them they are? What are the chances of they are becoming they are consuming something, or they are hungry? Okay, and how the resource allocation takes place? What are the resources in this case? The resources is the fork, right? Which is essentially needed for eating purposes. So thinking, hungry, and eating, because they are all philosophers and they are from, let's say, different parts of the world. They do not know how to communicate with each other, right? Right. So, and basically they are philosophers. So normally philosophers people, they do not talk, right? So you can set various parameters, as I have told you. That is, you can increase the number of philosophers. Maybe you can make it 30. Okay, you can increase the hungry chance by 0.5 to 0.9 or full chance. Whether you want cooperation amongst them, you can simply click on this. Okay, and then go it once. Okay. Okay. So now it is being executed. This is the model speed. Again, you can control that model speed. Okay, because if you keep it little bit slower, the students can understand that is what is happening and how it is happening. Okay, and if you look at the left hand side, you will find that this is the resource allocation graph. Okay, philosophers hungry, philosophers thinking. Okay, how many philosophers are there, and how many are of them are eating, which is coming in green. Okay, so all these color code, and this is the spaghetti, right? This is philosopher's ID and who is doing what, okay, and how these resources are being consumed. Okay, so I'll not elaborate on this. The idea is not to talk about what this dining philosopher problem is, how we can make use of this particular tool for complementing your teaching learning, right? Now, if you look at these tabs, you will find that there is a command center, you have a net logo code. Okay, so as I was talking about that, the entire source code is available here. You can very well download it. Okay, you can download it. Even you can ask the student to modify it. Okay, and you can play with it. And this is the model info which I was talking about. That is how it works and so on. Okay, and this is completely free. Even you do not require any social media ID or any Gmail ID to use it. Okay. So what you can do, you can modify these models. Okay. Again, you can submit it to this net logo community. If they feel that your model is worth considering, it may happen that they will publish your project under your credentials on the net logo website. Right. So this is a second or probably third tool which I feel is important to demonstrate. Okay. इसमें किसी को कुछ पूछना है अपने से? Have you tried this sort of tool? There are many. Okay, just for the sake of example, I am telling you. Right? Anything you would like to ask, or shall I move ahead? At least tell something so that I'll move ahead. Right? Okay. Let us try to go ahead with the another tool, which I think I've shown you, that is typically for assessment purpose. So hot potato, I think 7 is the latest version. I hope my screen is visible to you. Hello. Yes. whether you are with me or my screen is visible to you, any one of you just, or even let's say if you are not in a position to talk, you simply put it in the chat box. So that should not happen that after 30 minutes you will say, sir, you were talking something else and nothing was visible to us. Right. So this is Hot Potato 7. Again, this is completely free. Okay, it is free and open source software. It has been built on FOSS philosophy. Okay, free and open source philosophy. Okay, so you need to go to this hotpot.uvic.ca. Okay, this is the 7.0 installer. Click on this hyperlink. It will download a small executable file which you need to double click and install on your machine. Okay, since you are all from engineering and technology background, I will not show you that is how to download and install, right? What I'll do, I have already installed it on my machine. So I will directly show you the demonstration. Would you like to see this demo? Yes. All right. So let us go to Hot Potato 7. Okay, I am opening up this application. I hope you people are with me and I'm very much connected. Multiple instances will open simultaneously. Right. So that is what has happened. 3 instances. Let us close down the rest of the 2. Okay. This is, as I said, this is a bundle of tool. Right. It is a bundle of tool comprised of 5 different utilities. Each one is designed for a specific task. Okay. So you have JClose, JQuiz, JCross, JMix, JMatch, and so on. So 5 utilities are there. All right. And there is a masher. There is a masher. The masher. All right. So JClose, JQuiz, JCross, JMix, and JMatch. This okay? So what we will do, these are the 5 hot potatoes. And this masher, as I have told you, the functionality of this masher is you can use it for creating one unit. Let's say you have created 5 different exercises using these 5 utilities. And if you want to club it into one unit, you can use masher for that purpose. So the functionality of masher, I will demonstrate at the end. But I will start with let's say, you want to design a quiz. So let us try this J quiz. Simply click on that. All right. Moment you click on J quiz, something like this will appear. You may call it as quiz 1. Here you can ask the question. Let's say, so in which year, let's say, World Wide Web made publicly available. Okay, you can provide different answers here. Maybe let's say 1995, 2000, 2005, let's say 2009. Okay. Now, whatever is the correct answer, you can simply check box. This correct. Okay. Let us assume that 1995 is the correct answer. So simply click on that. Okay. Now here on the right hand side, you have got various possibilities. As I was talking about, that earlier there were problems with these tools that they were typically used for setting up of multiple choice question or true and false sort of question and so on. But now, if you look at this quiz utility as well, it can be used for creating short answer, maybe hybrid or multi-select or MCQ, right? So let's say we are, for the sake of simplicity, we are making it MCQ or multiple choice. Okay, but you have these many options here. Okay, maybe multi-select, hybrid, and so on. Okay. Now let us look at this question mark is for help. Okay. I will not show you the once again not the entire functionality, maybe some basic things. Okay. So this is typically for configuring the output. By default, as you can see here, the by default the output is in gray and black. But let's say if you want to change it to some different color, you can very well do that by simply clicking on this. Okay. So this is the title which I have given. You may change the title as well. You can change the appearances as I was talking about. By default, this is the layout. Let us try some different colors here. Okay. It will apply all those color combination and so on. In the left hand side, you can see the preview as well. Okay. So you can make color combination as per your own choice, and you can format it. All right. So this is one thing. Then you can set the timer. Okay. Let's say you want to put it for 5 minutes. Okay. You can make it. This is the display by default. This is the your time is over is the default message, but you can change it as per your own need. You can write your time is over, or this is the end of the exam, whatever you feel appropriate, right? So this is about configuration. Let us click on OK. So we did some little bit configuration as well. Now you want to create this exercise. So go to this, there is a red down arrow, okay, which is for exiting the program, and there is a 7 symbol, okay. So if you put the cursor over there, the tooltip will show you that is this is used for creating the hot potato 7, right? So now you can give the file name, any file name, whatever you feel appropriate. Okay, click on yes, right? Click on yes. Okay. Moment you click on yes, okay, you need to save it. I am saving it with some file name called A. Okay. Now there are various possibilities here. Once you click on save, something like this will appear. Now you can see the view the exercise in my browser. Okay. And do nothing. Okay. So let us try to view the exercise in my browser. So this is how the question, the layout of the students display will be there. Okay, then they can select any of the correct answer. Let's say if you select 1995 as the correct answer, it will say, okay, you have completed the exercise, because there was only one question in this case, just for the demo purpose, right? So on the similar line, you can create for, what should I say, right? For other exercises, again, you may try. Okay, that is, you can try something what they call it as match the following. Okay, even you can create a crossword. Okay, or JMix, that is jumbled sentence exercise. Okay, JClose, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I think one is more than enough. Okay, so it will basically create a HTML file, okay, which you can very well share with the student community quite easily. And let me demonstrate whether you want me to show all these 5 hot potatoes or one is enough. Okay, the interface is more or less same. Okay, the only thing is that, let's say, crossword is little bit different, but as far as but the basic functionality is once again same. Okay, so crossword is little bit different, because in that case you need to provide the keywords as well as the clues. Okay, so using crossword is little bit, you can say, the different layout is there, but mix and maybe match the following is very similar to quiz, and JClose is there, right? Now, having said this, the last one, as I have told you, as far as this hot potatoes is concerned, okay, you have a masher. So if you click on masher, if you remember, I have told you that is it can be used for creating one unit out of the exercises which you have already created. So if you click on masher, something like this will appear. Okay. If I'm going fast, you may ask me to repeat some step. Okay, it's not a big deal, but let me know at least, right? So as I said, that is you can add files. You can simply click on this add files, and by simply selecting few files, you can add up those files as a one unit. For simplicity, what I'll do, I'll not go more than 2, 3 files, let's say. Okay. So I've opened it. You can select one by one. Okay. Okay. Simply say OK to all. What it will do, it will create a bundle out of it. Okay. Now, once you are done with that, okay, you can add delete file. So self-explanatory. You can browse. You can add up whatever file you wish to add. Okay. You can create a folder with hot potatoes and keep all those files there and simply add up all those files. And there is a button called build unit. Okay. So if you click on this build unit, you can create the exercise. Okay, it is giving me some warning. The reason behind that is only one thing, that is in the file name. Let's say if you give some blank space, okay, it will give you this kind of warning. But again, there is no problem as such as far as the basic functionality is concerned. Okay, simply say yes. Okay. Now, would you like to view the unit now? Okay. Let us click on yes. Okay. Since we have randomly picked up, so we are getting some random response here. But this is how it works. Okay. So this is all about hot potatoes. This is all about hot potatoes. This is completely free. This is completely free of cost. It is a freeware which can be downloaded on your local machine and you can work on it. Okay. So it creates .html file which can be shared with a number of participants. Anything you would like to ask? As far as this is concerned, let us move ahead with some tools like which is in an online mode, what they called as Socrative, right? So this is an online tool which is very similar to the hot potatoes, whatever we have seen, but it is in a completely online mode. Okay, so there are two login as a matter of fact. Okay, when you click on this, okay, there is a student login and there is a teacher login. Okay, so you can go to first of all, what we will do, we'll go to Socrative teachers login. Okay, you click on this. In this case, sorry, it is taking me to the right. Right. If you are a first-time user, you need to sign up. All right. Now, once again, the beta version of this tool is free. Okay, and Pro is paid. Okay, but again, beta you can do lot many things. Okay, right now I'm using the beta version. Okay, which is free. Okay, and it is, as I said, it is almost very similar to the hot potatoes, but it is in a completely online mode. Right, completely online mode. So whenever you, if you are a first time user, it will ask you to sign up, wherein you need to provide your name, mobile number, maybe some Gmail ID and password and all those things you need to provide. Once you are done with that, okay, it will assign you a room number or a code. Just like in Google Classroom, we have a code. On the similar line, we have, say for example, in this case, Atik6972 is the code for me. Okay. So whenever you log in, so this is one room. Let's say this way, if you are teaching to more than one classes, you can create those many number of rooms, right? Those many number of rooms. Okay. Then, as I said, that this is the beta version. Get Pro. If you want to go for a Pro, you need to pay for it. Okay. Now, what are the various facilities here? You can set multiple choice question, you can set true and false, you can create short answers, okay, you can create a quiz, okay, and so on and so forth. So let's say, and the beauty of this is as a matter of fact, it has that AI built-in functionality. That is, you specify the topic, it will generate questions for you. Okay, let's say, for example, if you want to conduct uh, some assessment examination on NEP 2020, you simply type NEP 2020, okay, and set 5 or 10 questions, it will generate 10 questions. I have generated something for that, okay, and that I'll show you. That is there. Let's say this is NEP 2020. Okay. So wherein I have simply specified the topic, it has generated the quiz. Now at max in beta version, you can create 5 quizzes, not more than that. Okay. You need to delete, let's say if you want to go beyond 5, you need to delete earlier one and then you can. So at max, you can have 5. Room again in beta version, not more than 1 room. Okay. So limitations are there. Okay. But the functionality is completely there. Okay. Functionality is completely there. Okay. Now, let's say if you want to launch an exercise, you simply click on this launch. Now, this exercise has been launched. Okay. Now, let's say the student, they wish to attempt this exercise, just like we were trying in case of hot potatoes. On the similar line, the students can very well attempt that exercise, okay, by simply logging in into this Socceritude. But as I have told you, that is for student, the login procedure is different because they don't require any sign up and all. So Socceritude student login. But if I try both the things from the same machine, it will my teacher's login will be automatically logged out, and again you need to log in, right? So simply type student Socceritude student login. It will take you to the student login screen, wherein you need to give the name of the classroom. Atik, let's say 6972. I'm not wrong, right? This is what is it. Okay. So type Atik 6972. It will take me to that exercise which I have launched over there. Here I need to put my name. What is today's date? Let's say Atik 16th of June, because there are a lot of responses. Okay. So as to distinguish, I am giving today's date. Okay. Done. This is my display name. Now the exercise will start appearing. As I said, this is the exercise which I have created using the AI functionality, wherein I have simply specified the topic and I have asked the Socceritude to create an exercise on NEP 2020. Now it has created a mix, very good mix of short answer, true and false, MCQ and whatnot. Now here you can type something, whatever you feel like. Okay, randomly I am typing something. Okay, submit the answer. Now, it is not only accepting the answer, it is saying what are the proposed changes in higher education and so on. Now, the second question is, which language policy does NEP 2020 emphasizes? You have a 3-language formula. Let us click on that and submit the answer. Let's see what's the response. So, it is not only giving me whether the question answer is correct or not, correct answer, but it is also explaining how it is, right? So it emphasizes a 3-language formula to promote multilingualism and national unity and so on and so forth, right? All right. So this is the third question. Let us attempt all the 5 so that we will come out of this. So some true and false. Again, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay. So this is the right answer. True. Okay. Now it is giving me that whether it is correct or not along with the explanation. So to reduce working hours, submit the answer. Click on it. So you have completed the current activity because there were only 5 questions waiting for the next activity to. So unless and until the teachers launch another exercise, nothing will appear here. Okay, nothing will appear here. Right. Now let us go to the teachers login. What is there? Let's see how these responses are recorded. Okay, so as I said, it will be automatically logged out. Okay, let us log in. Okay, let us try to log in and see the live. Okay, go to live result, wherein you will find my today's response. This one is the today's response. 16 June 2025, Atik, right? These are the questions and these are the answers, whatever I have attempted. Okay. Now, you can do all these things by simply a click: show names, hide names, show responses, hide responses, okay, show result, and so on. Apart from that, this button is for inviting the student, finishing the activity. Okay, then you can generate the reports as well. So report generation is again possible. Okay, so upgrade your plan to access reports older than 30 days. So up to 30 days it will allow, but older than 30 days it will not allow. Similarly, rooms, as I have told you, that if one room is created, if you go for add room, it will ask me to upgrade, right? So that is there. That is the problem with this, right? That is the problem with this. Then discover is there, then library is there. So this library will be comprised of whatever exercises you have created. Okay, word, fact, quiz, and so on. Right? So you can add quiz and so on. Let's say if you go for adding the quiz, say again you have very many things here, that is blank quiz, copy paste question, import quiz. You can directly import it if something you are already having. So and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is how it works. Okay, certain things deleted. You can delete the quizzes. Okay, or you can upgrade. Okay, upgrade to unlock unlimited quizzes and access quizzes past your limit. All right. So this is Socrative. And this is Socrative. Anything you would like to ask as far as this is concerned? Hello. I hope you people are with me and we are connected. Combined use of Socrative and hot potatoes possible to evaluate student. Yashwant Dharne sir. Okay. Okay. You what exactly you intend to say, sir? I'm not getting it. You mean to say both combinedly. If you use it, you can very well do it. That is what. Arne sir?
Can we use both for evaluation of the students?
Sir,
Some features
see,
are
I was
different.
from teachers' point of view, they are separate. Actually, one is online. The second one is as a matter of fact, I was expecting a question, case, sir, how to share the exercise with the teaching community, right, or the student, right? So actually, you can copy and paste these files, these HTML file in your Google Classroom, and you
Yes,
can ask the student to attempt those questions as far as hot potato is concerned, because hot potato is not at all online. Okay, you have to be very
yes,
clear in your mind that is, it is an offline tool. But let's say within your intranet, let's say if you
yes.
are having your institutional intranet, within that intranet you can very well ask the student to attempt those exercises. But let's say
Okay,
if you want to make it completely online, then definitely you need to make use of Google Classroom or any other platform, maybe Socrative, and then copy and paste that questions. Okay,
okay,
whatever you have created in hot potatoes, that is possible, sir.
okay, sir.
I hope I have answered you. Anything else? All right, let us try some tools on the research front, right? Are you ready for that? Okay, because we are still having 10 to 20 minutes with us. So why not to try some tools on research front? Okay, or you may try certain things on what they call it as. Let's say you want to create a PowerPoint presentation. I think some of you must be using it, so that's why I was skipping on that. But AIPPT.com, whether you are using it for PowerPoint generation and all, or otherwise, if you wish, I'll demonstrate you. Whether you are using any AI tool for PowerPoint presentation?
No, sir.
Okay. So let us try one simple tool, what they call it as the AI PPT or okay. In the similar line, you have lot many. Gamma is one of them, and then there are very many. There are very many. But the idea is to show you this AIPPT.com. So you need to sign up if you are a first-time user. Otherwise, you simply go for this sign in, right? So you can sign in with Google, let's say Google account. And as I have told you, I am recommending your personal account. Don't go for your official account because it many times it will create some problem for you, right? Because of the policy, whatever you have. So this is the AIPPT.com, right? Now let's say I want to generate PowerPoint presentation. Now some of you agree and some of you may not agree. That is, at least I think ethically it is correct to use AIPPT for generating the PowerPoint presentation. There is nothing wrong in that. Okay, so let's say you want to deliver on a particular topic and that file is ready with you, what exactly you intend to have. Okay, maybe a PDF file or a doc file. Okay, so you can upload that file and you can ask this AI PPT to generate a beautiful PowerPoint presentation for you. So again, you may specify the sources from the conversation as I was talking about. Okay, new project, you need to click maybe from conversation, from imported document, from import from Google Drive or from a website. Directly you can fetch the data. If it is available publicly, there are certain conditions. If it is not under the controlled access, you can very well fetch it. Okay, if it is in public domain. Then from a template. Okay, so let us try this on a new project. Click on this new project. Okay, now it will ask me. Okay, and apart from that, it has got that built-in AI functionality as well. Okay, so let us type something, role of AI in education. All right. Now what I did, I simply fired a prompt asking it to create the role of AI in education. So what it did, now this is the another way of doing it. Otherwise, let's say if you have a PowerPoint PDF file or a doc file, you can upload it and you can ask it to generate. Okay, so it will generate. But again, some limited functionality, right? So theme, the impact of AI in education, transforming it has generated chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, slides, and so on. Now it is asking me to select a template. So I can select a particular template based on my requirement. Okay. So these are the various possibilities here. You may go ahead with this project plan if you are going for a business kind of a thing, or if it is an academic sort of a thing. So you have a number of templates. Okay, minimalist, business, aesthetic, cartoon, creative, fun, and so on and so forth. Again, you have various themes. Okay, which you can apply. So randomly, let us pick up anything. Okay, and then simply click on this generate PPT. Okay, it will generate a PowerPoint presentation. And I do not find any problem as far as use of these kind of tools for academic purpose is concerned, because it saves your time and energy. Okay. So whatever energy you want to put in, you can put in creating that doc file or the PDF file. Okay, what stuff exactly you wanted to have, and leave the rest of the things to the tools like say AI PPT and so on, right? AI PPT and so on. Right. So this is how you can create. Now you can download it. Okay, you can edit it, you can share it, and so on and so forth. Right. So this is what it has done for me. Okay. Okay. So but at the same time, I would like to tell you this is the one which we have created right now. This is the earlier one which was already there. So this is the impact of AI in education, transforming learning experiences and so on. So, so this is how you can customize it once again. Okay. Then, as I said, that is with limited functionality. Maybe earlier it was showing 5 were remaining. Now it is showing 4. Maybe at max I can create 5. Okay, and then it will go to 3, 2, and 1, and then 0. Okay, then you cannot do more than that. Okay, then there is a price associated with it. Now you may ask, sir, why this pricing and all these things are there? So whatever is there when it comes to, but the price is not so high. Say for example, 85 rupees per month. Okay, or for 1 year if you go for it is 1020. Okay, you can upgrade it. Maybe you can use it for your institutional purpose later on. That account can be shared amongst arbitrary number of users. That is again the way in which you can save in terms of money, right? So this is upgrade now. Okay, this is all about AI PPT and so on, right? Right. Mm. Any question as far as this is concerned? Now I'll take you to some tools which one can use for research purposes. Okay, but with a caution, that is, you should not use it for the generation of ideas. Okay, you can very well use it for certain routine tasks like say literature review, or maybe synthesizing or analyzing a particular paper. You can very well use it. Okay, but not for complete generation of a paper wherein you expect that it should generate the idea as well. If you do so, you will be quite easily caught up in the because if you look at the flag tools and so on, okay, they are parallelly they are equipped. Parallelly they are equipped. So they very well detect whether the stuff is generated from some Gen AI tool or whether it is original or what is it, right? But for doing some laborious task, as I said, that is for literature review, research rabbit, as I was talking about, research rabbit.ai, right? Once again, this is completely free. Okay, you need to sign up. That's all. The rest of the things you can leave it to the tool. I don't know whether it will work or not. I don't think that this will work. Let us give a try. Oh, has already signed up. It is saying. Let me try with something else. Let me try to sign up with this. There is something wrong. Let me give a try to. Okay, what we will do? Let us try it in this form. Let's see whether. Yes. I need to go for a forget password. Let me check out. It is asking me to type the new password. What has happened actually? Password reset was successful. Let us try. Let us try to log in. Right? Right? Yes. So there we are. Right. Now this is researchrabbitapp.com. Okay. Uh, once you log in, once you sign up, something like this will appear. Now on the left hand side, as you can see here, that is there is a new collection. Then you can import certain things from Zotero as well. Import from Zotero collection, new category is there. AI in education is there. Right? Say for example, these are the tabs which I have created. Let's say I want to create a new tab. Okay, I want to carry out literature survey on a particular topic. So simply click on this new collection. Type the area you are you can name it maybe recent trends in agriculture or maybe precision agriculture. All right. So this is what I have typed. Okay. Now at present it is not showing anything. It is showing 0 papers over there. Okay. So what I did basically, simply go to this new collection. Okay. It will ask you to enter the title of that collection. Okay. And something like this will appear. Once this is there, simply click on this. At present it is showing 0 papers. Now I can add papers. Now here you can type, say, recent trends in precision agriculture. Sorry, where it is going, I don't. Agriculture. Okay. Simply type, hit the search button. Now it will show you That is whether you want to search with regard to the biomedical and life sciences, let's say if you are a person from that discipline, or all subject. So simply click on all subject. Okay, it will show you a lot of papers over there along with their abstract. Okay, go through the abstract, simply add those papers into your collection. Okay, simply you can add these papers into your collection. Okay. Once you have added those papers, let's say 10-20 papers, okay, all those papers will start appearing in the tab. Okay, just for the sake of simplicity, I'll stop here. Okay, now what it is doing, it is automatically now it is coming up the application of nanotechnologies in food science using the ARAS method and so on. Now it is showing me 125 similar work. These authors 25, suggested authors are 16, and so on and so forth. So you can go to this, let's say this similar work. What I'm doing, I'm narrowing down my search. Now it is not only it has come up with some few suggestions, but it is showing a beautiful graph. That is how these authors are connected with each other. And again, it will take you to one step ahead. That is, again, you have 517 authors, 986 suggested authors, and so on. So this way, what you can do, you can identify, again, you can specify a timeline. Maybe, let's say if you want to search for a specified period, maybe 2020 to 2025, last 5 years, you can very well customize that search. Now, what is the difference? You may ask, some of you may ask, sir, how you can search using Google as well. But what is the advantage of this? This is not only analyzing the content, but it is giving you a lot of suggestions which can help your you can say the literature survey. Okay, and you can identify who are the people actually working in this domain. Right. So that will be a great help to you. And even these diagrams, as I said, that this is a free and open source software. Okay, these diagrams you can very well use it. Okay, in your research purposes, and you can do lot many things. Okay, you can do lot many things. So this is research rabbit is all about, right? So anything you would like to ask as far as this is concerned? Hello, I don't know whether I am connected or we have lost the connectivity. Hello, this is probably the last one. Okay, we are almost done because it is 5:55 if I am not wrong. Okay, this is the last tool which I would love to demonstrate, that is the illicit. Okay, so illicit, once again, you need to sign up or you can continue with Google. Let's say I will continue with Google. So it is typically used for analysis and synthesis of research paper. So you can analyze or synthesize any paper by using illicit. But again, the beta version is free and the full-fledged version you need to pay for it. Okay, so this is typically what is there. Okay, I'll not show you certain searches. Okay, I'll show you what I have already done. Okay, so this is what is there. Okay, let's say these are the papers which I have searched out based on the query. So it will show you 4 paper in the free version, and at max you can analyze up to 4 column. Okay, not more than that. Okay, so let's say at present this summary and these 2 columns are added as far as these papers are concerned. If you want to add more column, you can simply click on this. Let's say I want to see the methodology of all these paper in a single go. Simply click on this methodology. Okay, it will be populated with the methodology. Right. I think methodology already there. Let's try summary. Okay, but not more than 4 column. And once again, let's say if you have reached your 4 column limit, then it will not allow you. Right? It will not allow you. Let me check out. Okay, this is what is there. Okay, so yes, so there we are. So what it is doing, it is analyzing. Valuable information, sir. I was expecting some question, but anyway. So this is a sort of warning that I should stop now. Okay, no worries. Okay, no worries. What we will do, what I wanted to demonstrate is that is you can analyze. Say for example, methodology which we have specified, it has come up. Okay, so This way, in the free version, you can have 4 column at max. Okay. But if you upgrade, you can do sky is the limit. Okay. You can do whatever you feel like. So you can not only chat, but you can analyze or synthesize any paper using this illicit. Right. So having said this, this is all from my end. Okay. I hope I've given justice to whatever has been assigned to me. Okay. So thank you very much. But if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Let me. Hello. I hope let me stop sharing. First of all, stop share. All right. So
Sir, one question in the chat box. Combined use of Socrates and the hot potato possible to evaluate the students.
yes, that is possible. I think I have answered it. But again, just for the sake of information, you can very
I
well do that.
actually asked for coordinated use, not combined.
Coordinated. No, sir. No. Because they are two different tools, right? So coordination between these two, I don't think that is possible. But you can create some exercises with hot potatoes and maybe some exercises with the Socrates. Socrates is altogether different, but coordination, I don't think it is possible, right? Arne sir, if I am not wrong, I have answered to
Okay,
you.
thank you, sir.
Yes. That is
And
yes, sir.
सर हम एआई का यूज करते हैं रिसर्च के लिए, पेपर के लिए, तो उसमें अब कितना सही और कहाँ से गलत चालू होता है इसका आपने बताया पूरा पेपर करना ठीक नहीं, लेकिन
हाँ.
हाइपोथेसिस या कोई रिव्यू लेते हैं तो वो हमारा सब्जेक्ट चुनने के लिए भी हम उसका यूज करने के बाद इसकी मर्यादा थोड़ा बताइए आप।
मर्यादा ऐसी है सर, मर्यादा आपको डिफाइन करनी है ना? मतलब अभी फिलहाल तो मतलब अभी एज ऑन डेट वी डू नॉट हैव एनी regulating guidelines from the agencies like AICT or UGC in this regard. लेकिन आपको खुद की मर्यादा खुद ही डिफाइन करनी है, तो you have to set your own boundaries. As I have told you, that is, you can very well use it for analysis, synthesis of a paper, but
कलेक्टिंग एविडेंस।
collecting evidence, but repeatedly I am telling you, that is, you cannot rely 100% on these sort of stuff. Okay.
यस यस
You
दैट्स
need to validate it on your own. ठीक है ना? तो वैलिडेशन की जब बात आएगी तो आपको खुद ही
नहीं नहीं
उसको validate
वैलिडेशन तो खुद नहीं करना पड़ेगा और
हाँ,
चेक करके,
हाँ,
लेकिन जो इंफॉर्मेशन आती है
जी, वो इंफॉर्मेशन पे आप 80% रिलाई कर सकते हैं सर, मैक्सिमम 70 to
यस
80%, नॉट
यस
मोर देन दैट. सो
यस
इसीलिए मैंने बार बार कह रहा हूँ कि आइडिया जनरेशन के लिए या कंप्लीट पेपर के लिए इट इज नॉट
नहीं नहीं
एट ऑल
कंप्लीट पेपर नहीं, लेकिन ओके सर ओके
हाँ, लेकिन आप
एंड
बाकी जहां जहां आपको लगता है, जैसा आप मैंने एनालिसिस कहा सर, एनालिसिस सिंथेसिस अगर आप बाय इफ यू डू इट ऑन योर ओन 10 या 20 पेपर की, तो उसको आपको बहुत टाइम लगेगा. लेकिन यहाँ पे आप वो कर सकते हो एक सिंगल क्लिक पे, तो उसके लिए आप बिल्कुल यूज कर सकते हो उसको.
इलेबोरेट भी कर सकते हैं।
बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं, वहां पे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
यस सर ओके थैंक यू सर।
Sir, one more question from Dr. Gawande madam. Which AI is latestly preferred for the research purpose? Which can we rely upon?
There is no one single tool which you can say is the perfect, because nobody is perfect. Okay, this technology is evolving, right? It is evolving. Okay, and only the time will tell you that which is the best, right? So they are all good in certain areas. Okay, there are limitations, there are a lot of limitation, I tell you. Okay, so we have to use it very cautiously. Okay, that is the only one thing which I feel is the right thing to communicate at this point of time.
Okay, sir.
I hope, madam, I have answered you.
Yes, sir. Yes. Actually, I'm a supervisor and
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to guide to my students. So asked you,
Okay.
they need help of AI, then which one should be preferred? Like,
नहीं, से फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने आपको मैडम रिसर्च रैबिट बताया अभी या
हाँ.
इलिसिट बताया, तो इनको बिल्कुल आप यूज कर सकते हैं, लेकिन लेकिन कैसे लिटरेचर सर्वे के लिए कर सकते हैं, पेपर
Yes.
एनालिसिस या सिंथेसिस के लिए कर सकते हैं,
हाँ.
लेकिन मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ कि कंप्लीट पेपर लिखने के लिए नहीं कर सकते।
No, no, sir, no, 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 that is not,
हाँ
that will
नहीं
come in
नहीं,
plagiarism. Yeah.
स्टूडेंट्स नहीं, मैं आपकी नहीं बात कर रहा हूँ कि
हाँ.
स्टूडेंट्स की बात कर रहा हूँ कि तो आपको
हाँ.
वहां पे चेक पॉइंट्स लगाने हैं आपके खुद के,
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
so you have to regulate it on your own because we do not have any regulating guidelines, है ना?
Yes, yes, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, anyone is there or any question or the queries? If no more queries, then we can conclude. Sir, I think there is no more queries or the questions. So if you could permit, shall we conclude, sir?
Please go ahead.
So I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Atik sir for such a wonderful session. Sir really have provided this hands-on and the tool, that AI tool, that is very essential and beneficial for the research as well as the teaching, learning and the assessment purpose. We are really thankful to you, sir, for your precious time and thought-provoking session here. And with the kind consent of Professor Atik sir, I would like to declare that this session will be over here. We will meet tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for your patience here.